All right, James Pratt here. I've got Thomas Maupin
Yes.
with a longtime photographer and a journalist, and we're doing 20 questions with Thomas Maupin. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay,
Fire
so
away.
we're gonna get these 20 questions. We've got a few here. So, how did you first discover your passion for photography, and what made you stick with it?
My dad had an Argus C3, and when we were on vacation, after I got older, 14, 15, I would start taking the family photos.
Oh yeah.
And I took that Argus C3. That was my first good real camera. I took that all through high school and into college. And I think that camera has been in 3 Canadian provinces
Oh yeah.
and about 40 U.S. states.
Do you still have it?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. That's good. And so yeah, so that's my second question. What's your first real camera? You already answered that one. So
And my second camera after I got my first job was a Mamiya SLR.
Oh yeah.
I took it out of the box, cocked the shutter. Shutter wouldn't work.
Oh,
So sent it back.
be disappointing.
Yeah, sent it back. This was 1973. Sent it back to the company I bought it from. They sent me a new one. It lasted for 3 months, and then that shutter went out.
Oh man.
So after that, I bought a Spotmatic, Pentax Spotmatic F, which I still have.
Really? Is that right? Okay. So what type of photography do you feel most drawn to? What's your favorite type of photography?
You know, I really don't have a favorite type. I've done a lot of landscape. After I retired from the Oklahoman, I did freelance photography, a lot of event photography and some news photography. But I also take pictures of my daughter's dog and just flowers in the yard, anything that appeals to me.
I'm kind of the same way. I like just whatever. I mean, mostly I like people, but it doesn't matter. I do about anything. So, right. Is there a specific subject or theme that you find yourself, which is kind of the same question, do you find yourself photographing over and over?
My daughter's dog.
Oh yeah.
Because he's my grandpop, and I will, every time I'm around him, I'll shoot off, 10, 15 frames of him doing silly things.
Yeah.
My dad was a locomotive engineer, and I've been taking a lot of railroad photos over the years.
Cool. How do you decide what makes a moment or a scene worth capturing? What makes you decide to stop and take a picture?
Other people have asked me that over the years, and I don't have a philosophy for it. It's just if it appeals to me, I'll take a photo of it.
I'm kind of the same thing. It doesn't take a lot for me to take a photo. Yeah. Do you prefer natural light, artificial light, or a mix? And how does that shape your work?
I have 4 strobes, but I'm really more comfortable just taking natural light. Although I do occasionally use one of the strobes, or if I don't have it with me, the Canon has a pop-up flash.
Yeah. If you were going on a week-long backpacking vacation, what camera lens would you carry?
That I currently own, or that I'd like to own?
Would you like to own? Either one.
I currently have my Canon 77D. I'm so used to it. Yeah, that would definitely be one that I would take. But I've always been attracted to the Fuji X Pro 2.
Oh yeah.
And I'd like to have one of those, and with a moderate zoom.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So you've been listening to Robert too much.
And Doug Hoke.
Doug. Yeah, Doug. Right. So is there a photographer, living or historical, who has deeply influenced your approach to photography?
Yeah, Doug Hoke, the Oklahoman, and of course I saw his photos practically every day, and also a guy that I worked with in Topeka, Kansas, Jim Richardson.
Oh yeah?
And he had been a staff photographer in Topeka, and then he left and went to Denver, and then he started working for National Geographic.
Oh yeah?
And he and his wife have a studio in Lindsborg, Kansas, north of Wichita.
Yeah.
And a lot of his photography that he's taken just all over the world. He has prints for sale in the shop, and just fantastic photography.
Really? That's cool. I'll check him out. What's the most challenging shoot you've ever done, and what'd you learn from it?
Oh, probably I was shooting events for the Moore Parks and Recreation Department. And they asked me to cover the Christmas spectacular, they called it.
Oh yeah.
I had already shot 3 events for them that day, starting at 10 a.m. and then another one at noon, and
Oh
then
wow.
this event in the evening. And by that time, I was pretty pooped, but I had to stay out in the cold
Hard to be
because
creative.
the fireworks.
Yeah.
And I had this fabulous shot of the fireworks streaming up into the air.
Yeah.
I still have that as my screensaver.
Yeah. Cool. How do you connect with your subjects, especially when photographing people? How do you bring out who they are?
Well, that's a good question. I usually try to talk to somebody before I put the camera up to my face.
Yeah.
And that's
Just asking questions.
really about it.
Learn about them a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's a location or environment you dream of photographing, and what draws you to it? What's like your dream place you'd want to go?
Probably the Canadian Rockies. Again, I've been to Banff and Lake Louise, and I'd like to go back if I had the time.
Yeah.
God willing.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you prefer color or black and white, and
I use both.
both?
I was at a wedding recently in St. Louis, wedding anniversary, and I shot just for my own fun pictures, even though they had a professional photographer. I was shooting in color, and then I switched over in camera to black and white.
Yeah.
And
fun.
I enjoy the black and white.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I'm shooting film, it's usually black and white.
What do you do for inspiration when you're kind of stuck and not creative?
Walk around the house,
Yeah.
walk outside. About a year ago, I was having a dead moment, you might say, and my wife had some dishes in the dryer
Yeah.
drainer, and I just started photographing the forks and whatnot sticking up. We have a
Hang on.
dishwasher.
Curtis. How much shot? She had to do the start with dishwasher again.
We have a dishwasher, of course, but sometimes she likes to just air dry stuff. And there was a colander, a yellow colander, and I was taking photos of that. And it
Just gets fired up again.
Yeah.
Something to do, yeah. Do you do a lot of photo editing, or do you get once you get the camera? Do you do much Photoshop?
I try to get it in camera. The only editing program I have is just the basic one that Canon provides.
Yeah.
I had carpal tunnel surgery a few years ago, and so I try to just minimize my typing and mousing.
That makes
if
sense.
I can't get it done in camera or with that basic editing program from Canon, too bad. It doesn't get done.
If you could go back in time to the golden age of photography, from today back, when would that be?
Oh, that would be Nikon rangefinders.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
went for rangefinders.
50s, early 60s.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What camera do you want to be buried with? Any
That's a
camera?
good question.
Your Argus, maybe?
Probably with my Argus, because I don't think my son would want it. He'd probably want this, but not the Argus. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. How many photos do you think you've taken in your lifetime?
Oh wow! Well, as I said, I started taking photos when I was 14.
How old are you now?
I'm 75.
Okay.
So a lot. I wouldn't even begin to.
Could be a million. I've done 400,000. You've done a lot more than I have.
Well, I figured out that this 77D. I've got about 34,000 shutter actuations on it. So yeah, it's.
Yeah.
And then my older camera, I've had it since 2008. So.
Now, when your time on this earth is gone, what do you want done with your photos? What would you like to be doing with your photos?
There are a lot of them that are still in the envelope that they came back from the developer. I haven't put in a book.
Really?
So I'd like my son and my daughter just to get everything organized.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. What advice would you give a young, aspiring photographer? But just an enthusiast, not a professional, but just an enthusiast.
Don't buy a camera from a big store company, like a Walmart or a Best Buy. Go to a photo shop, photo store, Bedford, where they know what they're talking about, and you can actually hold the camera instead of having all that security stuff on it. And if your friends say, oh, you have to have an Nikon, well, look at Canon, look at Sony,
Yeah.
look at Fuji, because I bought my Canon because my previous cameras had been Canon. And when I bought my last Canon film camera, I looked at Nikon, but I like the feel of the Canon better.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's it. There you go.
All right, thank you.
20 questions. Thanks.